The father says, "Oh, my daughter, take this money right away." He puts her on the other side of the counter and tells her to get the money right away. He notices that someone is coming and says, "Hide, someone is coming." A man walks in and says, "Hi friend. I was just out there running errands, what do you want?" The father replied, "I need a lighter." The man confirms and says, "I'll get it for you." Then the father says, "Come on daughter, let's go." He leaves the girl behind and she screams, "Daddy, do not leave me here." The owner of the establishment says, "Girl, what an ugly thing, stealing. Comes here." The owner comes out with the girl and yells, "Police. Girl, aren't you too young to be stealing?" Soon a policewoman appears with the girl's father and says, "Look, I caught this guy running, tell me what happened." And the owner of the establishment says, "He was with this girl here, he was making her steal my cash." He turns to the girl's father and says, "You filthy, aren't you ashamed of putting an innocent girl to steal?" The father confirms the whole story and the policewoman says, "Look, let me take care of this one here. I'll take him to prison right away and you can let me call the guardianship council to get the girl." And the owner says, "You can't let that happen. I take care of that girl." And the girl's father says, "Let me know where you work." And the owner of the establishment says, "Let me be here every day." And the police say, "Let's go." The girl says, "Boy, I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that, I had to." And he replied, "I already imagined that. Look, wait here, it looks like you're hungry, I'll get you something to eat." He comes back and says, "Look, it's just for you, young lady, I want to tell you a story. Do you see this establishment here? I own it and also others around town." The girl says, "Wow, are you serious? Cool." And he says, "Look, I managed to own all this through a lot of work and I started from your age and I always worked hard, and look, it was years and years of a lot of persistence and resilience." He takes some money out of his pocket and says, "Look, I'm going to give you 100 reis to start walking the path I took. You're going to go to a little shop here and buy a box of gum and you're going to sell all your gum to multiply your money." And she says, "What do you mean? Multiply my money?" He says, "Yes, selling all the gum with a profit margin, you'll make more money than you have there to buy the box, and that way you'll buy more to multiply more and more." And she says, "I don't know how to do that. I never went to school." And he says, "Look at the study, you will succeed too, you will change your life. But I will now teach you 4 rules that you will need them. Now run there to buy the box of gum." And the girl go. The girl comes back and says, "Look, I did what you asked me to do. I bought the gum." And he says, "I'm glad you bought the bigger gum, because you can sell this one for 1 real each and go to the corner and start to work and have faith and patience and only come back here when you've sold everything." And she confirms and leaves. The girl comes back and says, "Look, I already sold everything and look how much money I got." And he replied, "Look, very well young lady, you did very well and managed to multiply your money. Look, the time has come to pass on the 4 tips I told you." Advice. In fact, first advice, and always reinvest your money, because investing in this way will never run out and that's the only way you'll be able to keep your business. Second, study. Studies are very important and they will open doors for you. You'll see. 3 degrees. Pay attention. All companies have ups and downs, and these are the difficulties, so we have to have faith and resilience. And already complementing this 3rd piece of advice, what I told you first is reinvestment, because then when you are down you will have the money to recompose your company, and if you follow everything I'm telling you, in the future you'll be a millionaire and you'll never lack for anything. And everything understood so far, right? Let's go to the 4th advice, that is the most important. Soon the phone starts ringing and he says, "Hello? Yes, it's true, I forgot. I'll run to go now." "Okay, just a moment." He turns to the girl and says, "Look little girl, we won't be able to talk, but I'm going to leave this money here with you and you're going to keep this money until you become a millionaire, and when you do, I want you to give it back to me." She confirm and go. She goes to sell the gum and says, "Young man, do you want to buy some gum? It's just a real." And he says, "Okay, yes, I want it." On the street selling chocolate, she shouts, "Look at the chocolate, who wants to buy it?" when her father appears and says, "Isadora? Do you remember your papa? And what is this? Now you're getting silly, what are you doing here?" And she says, "I'm working," and he says, "Work? Working is for us, Anta, and I have a little scheme there for us, and we can become millionaires, what do you think?" She says, "No, I prefer to work," and he said, "Work? And at least you're making money from it?" She says, "Yes, that's the money I'm getting," and he said, "Give it to me, aren't you too much of a brat to be working here?" She says, "No, Daddy, this is my only money," and the girl starts crying. 20 years later, the man who helped her is talking on the phone and he says, "So I really need that money, I'm going to have to sell my land, because the medicines are very expensive and this is my only chance at life." Soon someone knocks on the door and he says, "Can you come in, please?" And says goodbye to the phone call. He talks to the girl, doesn't he? When trying to get up, the girl says, "No, you don't need to make an effort, I heard that you are selling your land, so I want to buy them all," and he says, "How wonderful. I want to sell these lands as soon as possible, I need this money, are you really going to buy everything?" She says, "Look, when I was little I had a father who only took me down the wrong path, but one day I met a very special person and he gave me 3 pieces of advice that helped me a lot." He asks Isadora, "I knew you would grow up to become a good woman and a successful professional," and she says, "Thanks to you today I have a beautiful husband, a beautiful son, and I had the opportunity to study at the best university, and I opened a company, and I want you to be my partner. I don't know another person but one and good like you. Do you accept to be my partner?" He says, "Yes, I accept, thank you very much," and she says, "What was the 4th piece of advice?" He says, "Well remembered, Isadora, the 4th piece of advice was to always have God above everything and cultivate love in your heart and always keep your soul healthy," and she says, "Beautiful words, thank you very much."